Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, my baby now is doing so well in her napping. So, now I have time to return back to my YouTube channel. And a couple updates is my hair is kind of crazy. I have my postpartum hair loss. And so now I have all these little baby hairs. But the update is when she turned 5 months, all of a sudden her sleep got so much better. She's sleeping at least 5 hours at a time. And so let me just get straight to the point. The whole point of this video is that we're talking about the snoo. Does the snoo really work? So I won't waste your time. So I'll go straight to the point. No, it doesn't. And I will say this isn't a blanket statement for everybody. But for our family, it did not work for her. When she was first born at the hospital, she couldn't sleep in that little clear bassinet that they give you in the hospital. So I just stayed up all night and I held her, and that was the only way my daughter could sleep. I don't know if other moms had a different experience. Let me know if you did. So for the longest time, I would just hold her, she would sleep, and that was the only time she didn't cry. And that was tough because I was doing all nighters. And then coming home, we put her in the snoo, and they say you're supposed to put them in awake, but not like sleepy, but awake. We tried that. That did not work in the snoo. And we thought that the snoo would rock her to sleep. It did not happen. We kept trying. And what I found we started doing was we were manipulating our life to fit the snoo. So we would rock her to sleep and then put her in the snoo. And then we would try the snoo. And then it would always like time out because she would cry the whole time. So there was a point where I just like could not take it anymore. So I ended up like at the end of the day, I was not sleeping anyway. She would only sleep maybe not even an hour in the snoo. I would have to take her out and I would just sit on the rocker and then hold her to sleep, which ended up me doing all nighters again. So, as you can tell, my postpartum was very hard and I had a C section. So, I was recovering from that. And postpartum depression is real. I felt like super cryy because my hormones were just all crazy. But yeah, I ended up doing all nighters plus all the C-section recovery and the hormonal change that made me very weepy. So, my point is, I ended up doing the opposite of what everyone recommends, and every mom is going to look at me all cray cray and thinking, I'm just like this crazy mom. But the only way I could catch some sleep was I did co-sleep. I did co-sleep with her. And that was the only way that I and her could sleep. And I started to do some research online, and what I found was co-sleeping is a biology. I can't say the word. Biologically, you know what I mean. It's normal. It's by nature that we would do that, and it's because babies they want somebody around. It helps them feel secure and safe, and so that was the only way that she could sleep. And back in the day, before all the technology, etc., people were doing that already. And what I read from I forget what research paper, was that back in the day they did that and that's how they got by, and they always carry their baby around. Modern day, um, now we have all these different devices such as the snoo and things that are supposed to replace a human's touch or a human's attention. um, Sometimes it works for some families, but it did not work for our family. And she always needed her mom or like her dad to rock her to sleep or just have somebody there. And so, what I learned from researching and noodling around online and Googling is that that's normal for babies to feel like that and to always want their parent to be around. My daughter, I don't know if you call it smart or whatever, but she knew when it was the snoo, and she knew when it was me, and she knew it when it was her father rocking her, holding her. So that snoo thing did not work for us. And also, the whole crib situation is based on economic status. So if you're poor, you're not sitting there buying all these different devices. Maybe you are co-sleeping not by choice because you have to, and you only have one bed, versus somebody who's more well off. They're able to buy the snoo, have a separate crib, try all these different devices. So at the end of the day, for us, the snoo did not work. What I recommend you do is there are ways that you can borrow or rent a snoo. So I would do that. If you can rent a snoo, maybe you rent it for a couple days first and see if it works for your child, and then after that, maybe you'll buy a secondhand snoo. For us, I felt it was a waste of money, and it didn't replace the human that my daughter met or needed. So that is my real review on the snoo. It's not, I'm not sponsored. I'm just doing my mom thing. So hit me up if the snoo worked for you. Um, yeah, and I'm also not a fan of crying it out. I also Googled this, why I can't let my baby cry it out for sleep. And honestly, it's because we have an instinct, a biology to attend to our kid. And I read once you kind of decondition the mom and baby from that, it kind of like kills part of your spirit. And I definitely don't want that for my daughter. And I definitely don't want that for me. I want to be able to still have my mom instinct to tend to her when she needs it. I don't want to be so jaded to where if she cries, I'm like, oh, it's whatever, she'll be fine. But really, maybe there is something wrong. So I still want to have that sensitivity to her crying. That's just me, but obviously you're going to do what you feel is correct for your family. Um, but yeah, let me know your thoughts and experience with the snoo, okay? And that's all I have for today.